So news has been going around on social media that Goa is witnessing massive decline in tourism. There has been a drop in international tourists, the city is so expensive, there is taxi mafia, hotel bills are high and whatnot. Now, having been living in this city for the past 2 years after shifting from Delhi, starting a business here and running one, I thought it was time to address these concerns. What are the issues that I am facing running my Airbnbs here? What is the thing that I'm looking at and why I think it is not that big of a deal. Hi everyone, my name is Preksha. I run Airbnbs in Goa for the past 2 years. I'm an Airbnb super host. So to address the elephant in the room that Goa is going down in tourism and it is headed to dooms, well, I would say yes, there has been a drop. There's no declining that. But there are two key reasons behind it. The first one is the increase in accessibility of other tourist destinations. Now, Southeast Asia, especially countries like Thailand, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, had recently opened their borders to Indian tourists as well as made their countries more accessible to people all around the world. There's ease of travel there. The promotion done by the governments there is high. So a lot of people are now looking to explore those countries in the search of new places to discover. Second thing that I observe running Airbnbs here is that customer pattern has changed. I have seen that people demand cheaper rates, but they still expect a higher quality of service with the service that is given to them at hotels. Now, we can't really tell customers that do not come to our homestays, but to maintain our business, a lot of homestays, they need to price their properties higher. That might come across as high hotel bills to a lot of people. So yes, because of all these factors, the market is being affected. However, there are three reasons why this drop in tourism is not that big of a deal. First of all, this drop is temporary. In tourism especially, every market goes through highs and lows. Sometimes some markets gain a lot of traction and there's a lot of influx of tourists in that destination, like how it is happening with Thailand or Vietnam. When there are highs, you would of course have to bear some lows also. Second, let's talk about the taxi mafia or the whole infrastructure problem in Goa. Now, yes, there is a need to improve facilities, improve infrastructure in the state, and that is exactly what the government is doing. But citing that as the reason that Goa is now dead and there's nothing to be done here is not fair. This is not a one-off incident where the infrastructure in a state was not good and the government stepped in to improve upon it, and then there was a rebound. Let's talk about some case studies. For instance, let's pick Kerala, Alappi, which is now famous for its luxurious backwaters. But earlier, that was not the case. In 1990s, the tourism was almost non-existent. If I have to talk about statistics, less than 1.5 lakhs tourists used to visit that state in that decade. There were neglected water canals, there was no access to Alappi via roads, and the accommodation was not of high quality for international travelers. The houseboats that we see today, they were used for cargoes before. Then the government stepped in to work on that. In 2000s, the government took an initiative to develop infrastructure. It cleaned canals to improve waterways for navigation, built access roads to Cochin International Airport, and private players and resort owners brought in eco-friendly stays, including houseboats with modern amenities. The government also worked on cultural integration. The tourism campaign of God's Own Country placed backwater experiences at the forefront on international platforms, and the local culture of Ayurvedic treatments, Kathakali performances, and cuisines were highlighted. This led to a surge of tourism in the state to the extent that last year 2.5 million people visited Kerala, including foreign tourists. All this was due to policy initiative as well as strategic marketing. Okay, Kerala is a big state. Let's talk about a small town in Bihar, Bodh Gaya, which is one of the holiest places of Buddhists across the world. It is also a UNESCO heritage site. Last year, 8 lakh tourists visited that small town itself, but similarly as like Kerala, this was not the case before. The access to this small town was not easy. There were no roads built, or they were in poor condition connected to Patna and Gaya. The stays were limited, there were few accommodations, and airport was non-existent only. That means there were no foreign tourists. Then came the revival efforts. In 2002, the international airport was opened, which increased connectivity all across the world, especially with the Southeast Asian countries. And government initiatives positioned the place for its potential by making it a part of Buddhist circus, which gained international recognition. There were also digital marketing campaigns done for targeted sites. So, from a small town, Bodh Gaya became a modern pilgrimage hub, hosting global leaders such as Dalai Lama and drawing high-profile international events. You can pick up the case of Hampi or talk about Gujarat and its Run of Kutch initiative, and you will see a pattern that when the government steps in, there are improvements done in the state and the tourism rebounds. This is exactly what is happening with Goa also. To address public transportation problem, especially for tourists, there is a government app known as Goa Miles. That is an app-based taxi service which I personally use, as well as the government is promoting tourism. Yes, the efforts must be increased, but let's give it a chance, right? And thirdly, even if there is a short-term pain, you and I should look at the long-term gain vision, as these circumstances provide a unique opportunity. Firstly, we can see that there is panic in the market. Social media is flooded with anti-Goa posts. Everywhere you see, there is criticism about Goa. That means people now have a negative sentiment about the place and they might want to move out. At this point, let's bring in what Warren Buffett says, not saying it literally but paraphrasing, that when there is panic, there is also opportunity. If people are looking to move out of a place and they have developed a negative sentiment, that can provide investment opportunities at a better cost for the new people. Second, people who are planning to stay back, they will face less competition. But that means these people will have to up their games, especially when it comes to catering to the audience. For business owners, especially homestays or hospitality services, now is not the time to demand premium, but to establish a brand for yourself. And once the cycle is back, which it will be, you will be at the head start, since you will already have all those connections established. And third, if you are a bit more smart and willing to put in efforts, you will see these pain points as problems to solve. Okay, taxi is a problem in Goa. Arrange it with your stay at a discounted price to the guests. Tie up with a local company, ensure them also regular business and provide comforts to your guests. There is infrastructure issue, choose an off-beaten path and market it well. If you deal with your cards well, you can score. So just to summarize quickly, tourism and travel industry is cyclical. Where there are highs, there are also lows. We cannot expect the road to be all smooth. We need to have the strength to bear some bumps. The travel industry is known for its resilience. Historical trends show that tourism often rebounds strongly after downturns. Investors can position themselves strategically to capitalize on future growth once the travel patterns normalize. I hope this video gave a clarity of what is going on, and I hope this video gave you a sense of relief. If you like this video, do press the like button and let me know what other topics do you want me to cover. I'll see you on the next video.